Иван Chernov. I'm from a GM company, and so we'll be talking about NGFW, and it seems like everybody chose your own, but I would like to point out a few points and draw your attention to. So we'll count to one, we'll define what is one first and how it works. The second part will be more technical. What I do in my company, I run technical marketing. And the second half of my presentation will be more technical. And in my work, there is a lot of talking to clients. When I said the word marketing, people began to leave, and I also do that. So I'll send you emails. So my work is to work in the market a lot, study the market, look at the competitors, what people do. And for me, it's important how to develop our products further so that people would like them more and use them more. So why to choose NGFW is so difficult? Because everybody is the first one. It's very difficult to get through all these marketing materials because all vendors, they give you the most powerful, the most fast, the most, and all that needs understanding. And they use the word first. We are the first. Who is here from Positive Technologies? Here and here. Okay. So the definition of the word first, it's from the dictionary. It's the first that is first in the row. And let me give you some factors, top 5. UserGate with the first one. We're talking about only domestic NGFW. Then Code безопасности, the Code of Security, 2019, they released their own. Great guys. And IDECO, it was 2023. I talked to Dmitry, the head of IDECO. And the rest ones are not going to be more first, so to speak. So if you say you're first, then you have to rely on something. So I rely here on the history of releasing Russian NGFWs. So this is the share of the market. In other words, for 22-23, how much the clients spent on buying NGFW. So all this data we got from open sources. Sometimes you need to extrapolate, sometimes you need to calculate it, but so this is the numbers we have. So this is the situation in the market, and this is what I promised you, and why the client chose this. So what is behind the numbers? This is the number of implementations, the number of installations, the number of projects where we made errors, a lot of faults with them, and these errors were the foundation of the further development, optimizations, improvements, writing new features, and many more. And based on this data, and using 2 parameters, and this is the key idea that I would like to convey in the marketing part of my presentation. The first thing, the first one is this of this color, this and that, so understand what I'm saying. So with this, we're done. So technical part. Based on many implemented projects, we have about 5,000 over the 2 years. And here we identified the challenges that clients have, and there are 4 main ones. First thing that the client is concerned about how our device will fit in their network. Because for many years, the users used their own NGFWs and their devices and all that. So, but something happened and they need to change them. So the first question is how it's going to get in my network, this new NGFW. It usually sets in the gap. So, and if your NGFW is going to break my network, so why would I need this replacement? So the main business wouldn't work. So that's the first question they ask me. So, okay, we figured it out. So how is it going to protect my network? So what kind of device is it going to be? So usually, those who work with the networks, they use that.
Различные функции безопасности, окей, проверили трафик.
Different functions of security, you check traffic, you filter all the network packages and all that. Who is going to migrate all this? So we have a huge institutional base of some American producer. We have lots of rules, lots of objects. So we don't want to do this. Who is going to do the migration? So and finally, we persuaded them on this point too. And who is going to maintain all this? Who is going to do the support? Soon as we say people are everything, and I'm sure that in the audience we have engineers, and they probably have the servers and certificates of all those producers we talk about. So all those engineers, they went there and they were trained, so they know how to do this stuff, and all of a sudden, for 1 month, they need to get retrained for new devices, for new hardware. So these are the 4 main challenges when we prepare the pilot, and this is what our clients come up with. So if you have more of those challenges, so please come and bring them up. I try to say what must-have features should be and how to meet all those challenges that I just mentioned. In the same order, first is network. Variants of how it can be integrated in the network. Recently, I was a guest in the Russian Orthodox Church podcast, and it was asked the question, so what NGFW recommended to be used? So it says with the gap, with 2 interfaces. But actually, there can be 2, 4 interfaces. The main thing is it shouldn't be 1 interface. So I'm not going to go through the modes. Some people say our device can support 5 modes or 10 modes. But the point is that in that list, there should be a mode that is in your network. So since we have many of them, you can choose dynamic routing. So NGFW is used by network officers. So to make it safe, we want to have a dynamic routing on it. So with the big clients, it's important. It's not ideal, but it should have that to be properly working in a network.
VPN.
VPN.
Третий пункт с разными вендорами. Мигрировать, выкинуть все железки из всех филиалов, из всех организаций, подведомственных, еще чего-нибудь, выкинуть за раз и поменять невозможно. Мы это понимаем.
It's impossible to change all VPNs that people use already in the organization from all those little corners of the work. So
Как хочет заказчик.
This is how we do it. What the client wants. The client says, I'll buy 1 hardware you have, or maybe 2, and I'll take it to some Lipetsk city in the remote town, and I put it in a branch, and we'll see how it works. To take a device to remote branch is okay. But I'm not talking about an outlet. I'm talking about an NGFW that is still in the center, maybe in a data center or somewhere else. But how to hook up VPN? So what about certificates for it and all that? And we had to spend a lot of time to bring all VPN settings to interface. Anything could be hooked to it. It's kind of non-trivial point, but at the point of integration, it's a very important point to put the UserGate and see how it works and to begin replacing VPNs. Miscellaneous, VRF, NAT, and many others. So it's important. Network is important for NGFWs, and the list may go on for long. I'm not going to waste your time for that. There are engineers, there is hardware in our booth, and you can check it out. There's a demonstration from the engineer with interface, and you can ask questions, and you can see what else they have. The safety function. And you can see all of them here. And probably we don't even need to dwell on it for too long. And there is a device that is on our network, and it filters packages. It needs to understand what the app is. It has to understand what in the traffic attacks it. It should filter contacts and many more. It seems like it's obvious. And how to migrate. So that's interesting, because that can be painful. In my agenda, it was
На самом деле есть несколько вариантов. Да, вы можете поставить его сбоку, работа с копией трафика, но тогда вы сможете...
So you can put it and make it work with a copy of traffic, but then you will be able only to look at the security functions because you can't decipher the copy of the traffic, and we won't be able to filter everything. It's better to put it in a gap or in a chain, and then you monitor how it's going to work. So now in GitHub, you can go then to find scripts there that our guys write and those from the community write. So we have good chat on Telegram, like 3,000 users. Maybe some of you are in that chat. That's great. So you probably understand a little better what's going on.
Эти скрипты, они как бы такие, они
These scripts, they kind of popped up on their own, and the community kind of supports them. We kind of united against the common threat. Certified and status integrators. Maybe it's not that obvious, but people who work with integrators who cooperate with us, they have trained engineers and they know how to work with this. In the same chat, there are people, and we even
они знают, как с этим работать.
Right there, that these people are experts. And it's a bit easier will be for you to get the import substitution because these people know how it works in Russia. Why I'm talking about this? Because when people are made to use something new, there is a certain resistance. So I'm kind of used to this, why I would do this. In fact, what's important, it's knowledge. If you figure it out, if you get consultations, if you get knowledge, so you need to get through the stage of exception. So things not going to be the same anymore. And then here, documents, many other things. That's just a separate topic. So now exams. First, there was a spoiler that engineers, they had a lot of certificates on the walls, and now most of them are not valid anymore. So you need to change certificates, experts, and UserGaters. And in our company, UserGate company, it's called UserGate Academy. And you can go through these courses, you can take them, you can get certificates, you can pass exams. And then in our Telegram channel, you will get the plug that you're an expert.
не только для себя, но еще и
I sometimes follow Headhunter HR website, and I look at the number of inquiries to different vacancies.
коррелируется с тем, что я показывал до этого.
Everything correlates with what I showed you before, and more vacancies
которые знают UserGate, она
are
сейчас сильно выше. Таких людей
those people who know UserGate.
совсем мало сейчас.
There's a great demand for them. 2 years ago, there were less people like this, so in future there will be even more. Why I'm telling you all this?
Сейчас в технологической гонке первых
Right now,
уже
in this technological gate,
какая-то функциональная
in
составляющая.
the technological race of who is first in NGFW,
Функции какого цвета интерфейс.
now it's not important how many buttons and functions NGFW
вообще есть. Я бы
have.
потому что у нас есть экосистема, у нас есть куча разных продуктов, ну, никому не интересно, как выяснилось.
I'm telling you what ecosystem we have, what else we have, but what's interesting, vendor that has documents, materials, not actually everybody has them.
Возможность
And
привлечь
if
специалистов.
you can learn something from it and you can engage experts as part of the integration, and because UserGate is it's the first historically, and it's the first with the share of the market, we have all this. We made our share of mistakes. We have experience, and we've learned our lessons, and we can work with clients in a proper way and giving them the best information we can. So, frankly, after me, there are no any presentations. Russian NGFW, it's not scary, frankly. First it was scary, then finally we were accepted, and they realized that you can live with this. Right now, with the stage of acceptance,
Есть документация, действительно.
that there are documents, there are people who will help you.
Пользоваться адекватно.
Yes, you can use it
Следующая цель,
properly.
чтобы говорили не то, что
Our next goal is
а то, что российский НГФ это очень круто.
to say that Russian NGFW is not just not scary, it's also really cool. So please come to us, talk to us, what is interesting for you, what you'd like to have, if you have
Делитесь, это тоже очень важно лично.
your experience of using UserGate. So please share it and come to our website. So we are here till the end of Sunday, and we'll be very happy to talk to you. Thank you very much for your attention. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.